Creatine, that mysterious white powder that sparked more gym debates than proper squat form. But what if everything we've been told about this supplement is based on myths rather than science?
That's such an interesting point because creatine is actually one of the most extensively studied supplements in sports nutrition history.
You know what's fascinating? Our bodies naturally produce about 1 to 2 grams of creatine every single day. That's roughly the size of a jelly bean. And here's where it gets interesting: about 95% of it goes straight to our muscles.
Well, that certainly challenges the idea that it's some kind of artificial substance. How does our body actually create it?
So, our liver, kidneys, and pancreas are like little creatine factories, producing about half of what we need. The other half, that comes from our diet, mainly red meat, seafood, and animal products. But here's the catch: even with a perfect diet, it's pretty challenging to get optimal amounts.
That explains why supplementation has become so popular, especially among athletes and fitness enthusiasts.
Exactly. And let me share something that really surprised me during my research. Creatine isn't just about muscles. Recent studies show it might actually help with brain function, particularly in people over 60. We're talking improved short term memory, better reasoning skills, and even potential neuroprotective effects.
Hmm, that's fascinating. So it's not just for young bodybuilders anymore.
Not at all. And here's another myth we need to bust: the idea that creatine is somehow dangerous or similar to steroids. The research shows it's incredibly safe for most people. Though, and this is important, there are some groups who should definitely consult their healthcare provider first.
Like who specifically? Because I think this is where a lot of confusion comes in.
So the main groups are pregnant or breastfeeding women, people with diabetes, kidney disease, or liver disease. Oh, and here's something not many people know. If you have bipolar disorder, creatine might increase the risk of mania. But for most healthy adults, the research shows it's remarkably safe.
That's really helpful context. What about the different forms it comes in? I've seen everything from powders to gummies.
Well, here's the thing. While there are tons of fancy formulations out there, creatine monohydrate is still the gold standard. It's the most researched form and, interestingly enough, often the least expensive. You don't need all those fancy blends with added ingredients.
So, what kind of results can people actually expect?
That's where it gets really interesting. For power athletes, think football players, wrestlers, bodybuilders, studies show improved strength and power output. But here's something fascinating: the benefits vary between men and women. While both can see improvements, research suggests women might not gain quite as much muscle mass as men do.
That's interesting about the gender differences. What about dosing? I've heard all sorts of complicated protocols.
Oh my goodness, let me clear this up because there's so much confusion here. You know those complex loading phases people talk about? Totally unnecessary. Research shows that a simple, consistent dose of about 5 grams daily is all you need. No fancy timing, no cycling on and off.
That's much simpler than what most people think. Any other myths we should address?
Yes, the water retention myth drives me crazy. People worry about looking bloated, but what's actually happening is that creatine pulls water into your muscle cells. And that's a good thing. It helps with protein synthesis and recovery. Think of it like properly watering a plant. You're not making it bloated, you're helping it thrive.
That's a great analogy. What about quality? How do people know what to look for?
This is crucial. Look for products that have been third party tested and stick with reputable manufacturers. And here's a pro tip: check the label. If it's got a bunch of extra ingredients or proprietary blends, skip it. Pure creatine monohydrate is all you need.
Looking toward the future, what developments should people watch for in creatine research?
The cognitive benefits are definitely the most exciting frontier. Researchers are studying its potential role in preventing or managing neurodegenerative conditions. And there's also interesting work being done on creatine's impact on bone health and aging. The applications just keep expanding beyond sports performance.
That really changes the whole conversation around creatine, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. We've gone from thinking of it as just a supplement for young athletes to understanding it as a compound that might have broad health benefits across different age groups and conditions. The key is making informed decisions based on science, not gym mythology.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. Please like and subscribe to our channel and click that bell icon to get notified with the latest podcasts.